Hi everyone! This is a very quick video to comment on some job offers that I find around. When I receive them, I like to read offers on the positions that I like, especially technical artist, graphics engineer, and graphics programmer, stuff like that, tool programmer. So sometimes I find it really funny, or weird to find some requirements in the job offers that I don't really understand why they ask for this. So I wanted to comment this just for fun. I don't think they have it all decided, have decided what a technical artist is in general. So I find the most fun and the most unexpected things that they required from you that change so much from offer to offer that I don't really understand, and why they keep asking for these things. So let's take a look. So they ask for people who've been working for 2 to 5 years. So let's see. They ask for a career in computer science or related engineering field. 2+ years of professional experience working on games. So you have to work on games, right? For 2+ years, and they ask for somebody who's been working for 2 to 5 years plus. Solid experience building titles in Unity, Unreal Engine, or other game engine, including on Android. But they ask from you to know C#, Mel, Python, JavaScript, C++, OpenGL, and CG. I don't think people understand how much that is. That's a lifetime of study. C#, you can know about it because you've worked on Unity. Mel, Python, well, Mel basically is the language of Maya. And then Python, where could you have been using Python? I've worked on Python for maybe 4 or 5 years in Maya because I developed tools for Maya and other industry applications like Nuke. They use Python. But Mel Python comes from developing stuff for Maya or 3D software in general. JavaScript, what the hell? This is web development. JavaScript was used to work on Unity, I guess. But the thing is, they ask for JavaScript, which is not used in Unity anymore. So why are they asking for this? And C++ is used in Unreal. So if you have worked with a game engine, it's Unity or Unreal Engine, you basically have worked in there for 2 or more years learning one of those languages. If you have worked in Unity for a year and then another year in Unreal, you can know about both, but you can get proficient on those. In fact, some people ask for a professional experience in C++, but they ask for an advanced programmer on C++. I don't think many people have that level. They very easily ask for this, but being an expert in C++ takes years and years and years, and you will never get better. Trust me. And then they ask for OpenGL and CG. CG is the language used for shaders inside Unity. And OpenGL is very low and very low-level graphics programming that probably most of the people haven't done any of that. I did a subject on OpenGL, and I'm a computer engineer, but I specialized on graphics programming. So I studied for 2 more years OpenGL, CUDA, and stuff like that, programming for GPUs. But OpenGL, is there any technical artist that really knows how to develop stuff in OpenGL? Does anybody use it anymore unless you are a graphics programmer? So you have to have used Unity, Unreal for years, and then work on low-level graphics programming, and then know about shaders, and know about JavaScript. I guess you understand what I'm saying here, right? So they ask for many of these. I guess they ask for one of them, or maybe a general development experience, or something like that. But let's continue. So they ask you to be a proficient in 3D graphics, math, linear algebra, and practical knowledge of transformations using matrices, vectors, and quaternions. So all this is basically linear algebra. This is what you learn in college, or maybe in your high school subject, math subjects. But if you want to know about this, linear algebra applied on 3D, it doesn't only take the time when you studied in your career, because I studied in the first year of my studies, and I didn't know how to use that, how to apply that on a real life scenario, real world scenario, sorry. Then they ask of you to be proficient with standard content creation tools, including Maya, 3D Max, or Cinema 4D, ZBrush, Mudbox, Substance Painter, and Photoshop. Oh God. Isn't that too much? I mean, you have to use, Photoshop, okay. Not many people know Photoshop. I mean, if you're a technical artist or you've been an artist, yeah, you have to know about it. But Substance Painter, that's specific for people who work on textures and models, and ZBrush, Mudbox, that's for modeling. Does a programmer need to know modeling? I mean, being proficient with those tools? I'm not proficient. I've used ZBrush sometimes, Substance Painter sometimes, Photoshop a lot, but I'm not proficient. I don't work creating models or modeling or working on textures. I don't do that. And then they ask of you to know Maya, 3D Max, or Cinema 4D. So you have to know about Maya or other 3D software, ZBrush, modeling tools, and texture tools. So all of them, you have to be proficient on all of them, which takes maybe 5-6 years. So that's a big constraint, right? Then they want you to know about agile development practices, source control, and QA processes. So you have to work in a big company or somewhere where they apply these things, which used to be companies that have big teams that need those things, not source control, but small studios that make small mobile apps don't usually use these things. QA, agile development practices, no. And the rest of things, excellent communication. Okay, so here's the problem. It's what I think about all these jobs, is that they don't really know what they want, but they put it all in there. They see that, C#, Mel, Python, JavaScript is all related, and they put it in there, but they ask for proficiency on those. To be proficient in any software, 3D software, needs years. So they need you to be somebody who's been working on that before working. So in your spare time. So they want you to be a computer engineer or somebody with similar work experience with, I don't know what that is. I guess working on computer science stuff. It's not the same, but somebody who have been very technical and liked the art part, and they became artists by doing stuff on their own, like programming shaders and moving to 3D tools, knowing how to model, knowing how to rig stuff, knowing how to work with Photoshop and Substance Painter, creating textures. So you want a 3D artist that is also a computer engineer. That is 1 out of 1 million people. And also they ask for a very, very short work, very short time working, so 2+ years. That's very short for what they ask for. And then they want you to be an expert on art too. So you have to be basically a geek. And I don't know if that's the name in English, but a geek that is also an art geek or something like that. Both of the worlds together, and they ask for the best of those two worlds. There are other offers that I see, but sometimes they go too much to the programming part, and sometimes they go too much to the artistic part. They ask for you to rig models or create textures and model stuff. That's not the job of a technical artist. That's not the job of a programmer. A technical artist, I guess, should be a mix of those, but not proficient in any of those. Well, it's good if it's good in each of one of the sides. For example, my case is that I've been working on both things for my whole life, but I didn't really have a life. Like I spent too many years working, trying to become better and better on stuff instead of going out at night. I guess you understand. So I was a geek, but I also was very interested in 3D, and I'm also an illustrator. So I illustrate stuff, and I love 3D, and I love art, and I mix those. But I'm not an expert on, artistic stuff. I'm not an expert on, Maya. I know about Maya because I work on tools for Maya, and I've worked creating tools for people who will use Maya, but and I know the whole program. I know how to use it. They shouldn't expect that from a technical artist. That's my opinion. And sometimes it is a little bit outrageous to find this kind of offers that they ask from you to be an expert programmer while being an expert in art. That's not the point. That's not the goal of a technical artist. It's like a link between both worlds, right? So that's it. It was just a comment. I will share more of this stuff and create tutorials and stuff like this. So if you like it, just comment it down there and give me your opinion. What do you think a technical artist is? Because this is getting out of hands. This is absolutely crazy. Okay, see you around.